How did it come about that Congress deregulated Wall Street so they can basically do anything they want? How does it happen that over a year after the crisis, Congress has not yet acted in a forceful way to go forward with real financial reform?
It's a complicated issue, but it boils down to the Supreme Court considering a dramatic change that could do away with the ban on direct corporate campaign spending.
A lot of people in my own state of Vermont and around the country ask me, what really goes on in Washington? Why do certain pieces of legislation get passed, other pieces of legislation not get onto the floor? And unfortunately, this enormously important issue, which gets to the heart and soul of the problems with our democracy right now, doesn't get the kind of discussion that it deserves from the corporate media for obvious reasons. And it's something I want to say a word about. All of you know that last year, as a result of the greed and the illegal behavior of a handful of people on Wall Street, our country was plunged into the worst economic decline since the 1930s. And the suffering is intense, massive unemployment, people losing their homes, people losing their savings, people losing their pensions. We all know what's going on. How did it come about that Congress deregulated Wall Street so they can basically do anything they want, sell worthless derivatives, do the subprime mortgage business with it, which they did, which brought us to where we are? How does it happen that over a year after the crisis, Congress has not yet acted in a forceful way to go forward with real financial reform? Might it have something, my friends, with the fact that over the last 10 years, the financial interests on Wall Street have spent over $5 billion, yes, $5 billion on campaign contributions and lobbying activities? $5 billion. Well, you ask, let's get off of Wall Street. What about prescription drugs? How is it that in the United States of America, we pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs? In some cases, 2 or 3 times the price for the same exact drugs sold in Canada or in Europe. Do you think maybe it has something to do with the fact that since 1998, the pharmaceutical industry has spent over $1.6 billion on lobbying, and that maybe it has some effect, some reason related to the fact that they have over 1,100 lobbyists right here in Washington? That's more than 2 for every member of Congress. The amount of money we spend on the military, despite the end of the Cold War, goes up and up and up. Do you think it has something to do with the fact that over the past decade, the defense industry has spent more than $447 million on lobbying and $144 million in campaign contributions? ExxonMobil, year after year, record-breaking profits, working people pay very high prices at the gas pump. Bottom line here is you got a horrendous situation in which big money controls to a very significant degree the agenda. If you don't have the money, you get to the end of the line. And let me tell you something. Right now, the Supreme Court is looking at the possible overturn of what we call the Austin decision. If that takes place, you're going to see everything that I told you become nickel or dime, because the coffers of all of the large corporations will be open for them to directly fund TV ads in this country. So you're not going to just deal with political action committees, you're going to deal with the treasuries of large corporations. So in my view, this is a huge issue we have got to deal with. The answer, of course, is public funding of elections. We've begun to see some good things at the statewide level. But if you're concerned about public policy in general in this country, healthcare, the environment, whatever it may be, we've got to pay attention about the power of big money in terms of their campaign contributions and their lobbying activities. Thank you.